Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I'm here with one that I know it's going to shock some of you guys. This is definitely not my usual. This is red, white, and blue racing. Make sure you go check out my review if you have not. This is going to be an example of play because this game it's hard to understand unless you see the game being played out. So I wanted to just do a few laps, let you guys see how things play out. It's mainly from my original setup from the review video. I just left the guys where I had them all set up. We got Carl Edwards in the pole position, Joey Logano bringing up second place, and Kyle Larson in third place. And of course, Rainbow Warrior hanging around over there in fifth, but we'll see if we can get rid of him. And just to show you, there are just so many races that come with this game. I mean, look at all these races. They all are going to have different amount of turns, right? So how many marks off, it's going to depend on the mileage of the race. And then each one of these is going to be different. So if you played war games, think of this as like the different missions that you go on. If you're like British Tank Ace, you know, this is Africa and this is Italy and this is Europe, and there's actually just a lot more than the three, right? So different things that can happen in this game, but we'll set these to the side. We're going to stick with what I had set out, which is the Charlotte Motor Speedway, because I love Charlotte Motor Speedway. I used to live near there. So really cool place. Awesome racetrack if you've never been there. 1.5 mile road oval tracks, not a road track. There are road tracks that do come with this though, so if you want to play those, you can. And like I said, I went on a little spree and I started downloading some of the games off of BGG. There is so many seasons and tracks and options on there, and especially cars that you can download for free. The amount of free content for this game is simply astounding. And like I said, there is paid content that you can get as well, and it's not expensive at all. So my kids got my table dirty. Game itself is about $50, and it's $20 and change, somewhere around there, for packs of drivers if you want different seasons. I am looking forward to doing some 1990s era NASCAR racing. I think that was like back when Days of Thunder was real hot and real racing was going on. You could, you know, be a little bit rougher on the track than you can now. So you'll have your sheet. I've got my sheet already set out. Charlotte Coke 600 and the list of the drivers. I just went ahead and marked down their numbers to save myself some time. So this is where everyone has started. So we're set to go. Got my pole position. We are going to start racing. And remember, we do that by rolling the 2 metallic and the black die, right? That is going to be done at the start of every turn, and that is going to tell you the who, what, when, and where of what is going on. The who being the top, middle, or bottom, and the what is the metallic dice, and that is what we are doing here. All right, so let's do our first one here, and what did we get? We got a 6 with a 2. 2 is top group, 6 is skill. All right, this works. I'm going to set these here. That way I remember what we have as we're going through. Just don't lose my place. Remember, when we're doing something, we're going to start from the farthest back. Farthest back for top group here is 7th place. So with this being the skill, all right, so skill right there, any driver who has the word skill on his card gets to challenge. And when you are challenging in the top position, you are challenging the first place driver. So you really don't need the white die here technically for what we're doing, because we're challenging the leader. However, you still roll the white die because you can potentially get trips, and that can cause trouble. So if you get trip results, that means that they have like got a rare result and that driver has encountered trouble, and you would roll off for that instead of their combat. But other than that, we don't need our white die. We're just doing our red and blue, and how it's going to work is the red die has to be equal to or under their gas pedal value. Gas pedal value is the amount of squares that they have. For Carl Edwards, our race leader, he does not have the skill result, but he does get 2 from the break bonus. And I think that, or 2 break bonus for being the race leader. And I think that's the only thing that's going to apply to him. Yeah, that's the only thing that's going to apply. So Greg Biffle does have the skill value. He's got a gas pedal rating of 4, so he needs a 4 under on the red die. And Carl Edwards does not have that, but he does get the break bonus of 2, so he needs a 2 or under on the blue die to hold his position. And did he get the 2? No, he got a 3, but Greg Biffle failed anyway, so we don't have to worry about that. Go to our next 6th place. Ryan Newman does have the skill, and he fails. 6 is a fail, so I know I don't even need to roll, but blue succeeded. Next up is Rainbow Warrior. He's got the skill, so let's roll for it. Oh, he gets the one thing he could roll to fail, which is a 6 on the red die. He has a 5 on his gas pedal rating. He should have been able to hold it, but he didn't. And something I just noticed is that some of the drivers do have the burst symbol on their car, and I was eyeballing that real quick. This is something I would like to see the game do, is have like a card with an example in the rule book that points out everything and kind of explains it out. I think that's an extra burst symbol that those drivers get for brake purposes, because I can't think of anything else that it would go to. And I eyeballed it and I couldn't find anything else, and it matches the brake bonus symbol. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to those drivers. So Jeff Gordon, for example, would have 2 brake bonuses. Carl Edwards has 1. That means he'll succeed on his defense rolls on a 3 or under on the blue die instead of a 2 or under. But let's continue on. We still have, actually, all the top drivers have the skill word on them. Carl Edwards is the only one that doesn't have it. The race leader is the only one. Clint Boyer is the next one to challenge. He has a gas pedal rating 5, which means he needs a 5 or under on the blue die, or the red die, to succeed. Carl Edwards needs a 3 or under to hold the lead. And he succeeds, but Carl Edwards fails, so they will switch places. Carl Edwards is now dropped back to 4th place. Clint Boyer is now leading our race, but he doesn't get to keep it per se, because Kyle Larson and Joey Logano still have the chance to challenge. Remember, it is always better to be farther ahead because it's less likely you'll get bumped off. Now our break bonus is going to be, he gets 1 for having the skill. He's got 1 for the star symbol, and then 2 for the leader. So he will survive on a 4 or under on the blue die. Kyle Larson needs a 5 or under. These are all good drivers that we have up here. He's got the skill thing, so he does get the challenge. He's got 5 for his gas pedal. So roll it. Oh, and he rolls the fail. This is why you do roll that white die. If the white die had been a 6, he would have gotten a trouble result. So Kyle Larson fails. We're going to go to Joey Logano. And Joey Logano fails. We got a lot of red 6s. A lot of red 6s on that one. Okay. That finishes off our first, I guess we could say lap. They're not really laps per se. It's our first turn of the game. And you'll just mark it down right here. Bing. We've got 1. Now, if we did the entire race, we're going to do 60 of these. I'm probably not going to film all 60 because you guys might get a little bored, and it would take me a while. But we'll get through as much as we can so I can show you guys as much of the game as possible. And remember, like I said, this game isn't about making a bunch of choices. This is about seeing what happens. So in our first bit of the race, as it takes off, we had Carl Edwards get knocked out of the lead position by Clint Boyer. He was able to maintain the lead, and now they're coming around to the next turn, and we get to see what happens in the race. Roll for it. We are having result 5 with the middle group. So the middle group is the one now challenging, and middle will challenge into the top position. So top challenges for lead, middle challenges for top, and bottom challenges for middle. They are looking for the reflex skill. So anyone who has reflex over here gets to challenge, and they will challenge into this position. Now, when we roll our dice, remember the white die is going to tell us who is getting challenged. It's not the race leader, it's these guys are getting challenged. We've got one guy, our TV driver here does have a performance chip, so he can hold it off. Our TV drivers, again, are the ones with the yellow cards. Occasionally, we'll have events that will only apply to TV drivers. We've got a few here, and there are 4, strangely enough, in our bottom stack. Those drivers just got real bad starts and ended up in the back of the pack. All right, looking for the reflex skill. He's got it. Got it. About half our drivers down here have it. All right, Danny Hamlin, great driver, in 19th place, is going to be challenging with the reflex skill. And does he succeed? I can almost guarantee you he didn't. He passed his gas pedal check, but whoever he's challenging will succeed on a roll of a 1. He was challenging 3, so he was challenging Carl Edwards. Carl Edwards does have reflex with the star bonus. So with his bonus there, on top of the 1 that you already get for being in top position, he would have survived on a, was it 1, 2, 3, 4 or under. So he did really well. So Carl Edwards was holding him off. Next up is going to be Casey Kane, good driver, number 5 car. He is now challenging into the top position, and he fails. We don't even have to look. We know automatically a 6 is a fail. A 6 is going to be a fail on the blue or the red die. So if you see it on the red die, you don't even need to bother looking. Martin Truex Jr. now challenging. Is he going to be able to move up in the pack? So we know he is going to be moving up because the blue die failed. The red die is a 1. That is an automatic win. Martin Truex is challenging into number 5. Oh, but of all the things to happen, he is going to take the performance chip off of Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman gets to keep his position, though. The way you play it with, you're playing it solitaire like this, anytime a driver has a performance chip and a chance to use it, they will use it. Ryan Newman was able to pass because of that. He would have failed otherwise due to his bad roll. He would have been looking for a 4 under as well on his brake pedal. But we got Martin Truex going to Kurt Busch. Kyle Busch is crap. Kurt Busch, not as bad. He does have the reflex skill, so we'll roll for him. He succeeded. Blue die fails, challenging number 1, Joey Logano. No, Joey Logano is knocked back all the way from 2nd place into 15th place. Kurt Busch swinging around, coming up the pack into 2nd place. Next, we're going to a good driver. We got Kevin Harvick with the reflex skill. He is going to be challenging. Oh, no, it's red dice to fail, so he is not even going to get to move up. Tony Stewart does not have the reflex skill, which is good because Tony Stewart's crap. Never liked Tony Stewart. Next up, Michael McDowell doesn't have it. Eric Morello does not. Landon Cassill. AJ Allmendinger. He does have the skill. He gets the challenge. And another red 6. Wow, coming up often. Blue would have passed, though. Who was in 5th place? Ryan Newman. He's holding him off. Last one, Mark Martin does not have the reflex skill, so he does not get to challenge. 2nd lap down. We've had a few changes in our race. Kurt Busch has moved up, but the race leaders are doing a fairly decent job of holding their places. And just an FYI, something I'm doing here is in the lead changes. So we had like Carl Edwards get knocked out by Clint Boyer out of the lead. So I am marking it down there. He only led 1 lap, so nothing really special to mark down. But if they were to lead a lot of laps, like at least 10 laps, then I would put like it in parentheses, the number 15 car led 10 laps, something like that, to keep track of. That way, a really good driver, someone who led a lot of laps, could get TV time on the next race. And that's what I'm trying to get across to you guys, is this isn't a game as much about playing it as just seeing how it all kind of unfolds out in front of you. All right. And obviously keeping track in between the different races to see how all the stats play out. Let's see what we get next. We are getting something big. We're getting it for our bottom group. They are looking at heat. That is not a common one. And remember, so 5 is bottom group, 6 is duel. We haven't had a duel yet. Only when you roll a 5 on the black die are you looking in the bottom group. So for here, this is the end. This is 20th place. 19th place is over here. So this is spot 43. This is why you stack this in inverse order. That way you can quickly look through this. And the way I'm going to do it is to, as I go through these, I will flick them face down once I'm done with them. So once I'm done with it, I'll know this is stacked up in that reverse order. So now I'm simply looking for guys who have the heat keyword. Brian Vickers does not. Justin Haley does not. Casey Mears, good driver, but no. Jamie McMurray does not. Heat does not appear to be a common one. Reagan Smith does not. And here's where some of our TV drivers are in the back. And the first time they're getting the challenge up, it's a keyword that not many of the drivers have. Yeah. Tony Stewart's got heat. Casey Kane, Carl Edwards. Some of the really good drivers have it, but not too many. Paul Menard, another one of our TV drivers. He does not have it. Dale Jr., I knew Jr. would have it. We knew we were coming up to him. He is now going to challenge, and he's going to be challenging into this middle group. Now, when you challenge into the middle group, it's a little different. The white die still tells you where, but since there is odd and even, whatever you get on your red die tells you odd or even. So white still tells you which section, red tells you odd or even. All right, so let's roll for Junior. And Junior's probably gonna get it. He got a 2. And I doubt anyone in the middle group's going to have a brake pedal rating of 4 for heat. So we're looking in the 4 spot. That is here. That's going to be even, which is going to be Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick does not have the heat keyword, so he does not get to roll on that, or does not get any bonus points. He would only save there on a 1 on the blue die. He does not. So what happens is those 2 drivers will switch places. Earnhardt is now going to take Kevin Harvick's spot, and Kevin Harvick is going to be dropped back into the bottom group. So we will replace him with Junior. And now we're hitting another one of my favorite drivers, Jimmy Johnson. But Jimmy Johnson doesn't have the heat keyword. That is sad. Not too many of these drivers have heat. That seems like a rare word to have. Plenty of them have reflex or skill or control, but heat is rare. Oh, here we go. Matt Kenseth, number 20 car, got the heat keyword. Now, let's see where he is going. All right. Oh, Matt Kenseth succeeds, but he got the 1, which means he's going to pass. That automatic success would have been 3, would have been the odd place. He was challenging Tony Stewart, but Tony Stewart does have the heat keyword, so he would have succeeded on this blue die. Tony Stewart is able to hold off Matt Kenseth. I was hoping Matt Kenseth would drop into the middle group, but it's not going to happen. Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott's a good driver. Let's roll for him. He has the heat keyword. Ooh. 1 off on his gas pedal rating. He's only got 4. He needs 1 more. he would have succeeded had that the red die been one lower. So he's not going to get it. Let's keep going. Oh, Danica Patrick. Oh, Danica Patrick has it. Well, at least she's only got a 3 on her gas pedal rating. Hopefully she doesn't fail. Maybe we'll get lucky and she'll have some trouble. Nope. Danica Patrick going to be coming into the middle group. Look at this crap. Look at this crap. She is going to group 2, which is here. Even. So here, Landon Castile does not have it. Would have needed a 1. He is going to fail. Danica Patrick moving up into the middle group. Let's roll. Oh, and nothing to roll for because Ryan Blaney doesn't have it. Matt DiBendito, not a driver I know. He doesn't have it. Jeff Burton doesn't. David Reagan doesn't. All right, don't mix my cards up. David Gillen doesn't. Austin Dillon does not. Chris Busher does, but he needs a 3 or under on the gas pedal, and he did not get it, so don't need to even check. Sorry, Chris, you're sticking in the back of the pack, buddy, but you're not too far back. You still stand a chance. Marcus Ambrose does not. Ah, poor Marcus. I knew this was going to have it. This idiot. Oh, hate this guy. Kyle Busch. Kyle freaking Busch. Of course he has it. Of course he has it. Look at that. Look at all those keywords that he has. Fail, you douche nozzle. Oh, he almost got trips. He almost, one. If that 3 had been a 4, he would have got trips and would have got trouble and would have wrecked out. Oh, I could have got so lucky. All right, Kyle Busch, where are you going? You are going to spot number 4. You're going odd. So here, he does not have it. Joey Logano will be dropping back. Oh, that is so sad. Joey Logano has gone from second place all the way to the bottom group, and now Kyle Busch has taken 15th place out of the bottom group, but we're actually getting into the top of the bottom group. So he would have been in like 22nd place, so he moved up a little bit. Brad Keselowski does not have the heat special ability. He's a good driver. Doesn't have it. Juan Pablo Montoya. Juan Pablo, where are you going, buddy? No, that was a 5, not a 4. I am not going to give him an accidental trouble. He failed his brake pedal rating. He was close, but he failed. And, we got a guy with heat with the star rating, Eric Jones. Is he going to succeed? He does succeed. The blue fails. He's going into the 5th position. That is here, and it is the even. Martin Truex, sorry, buddy. You are now the top of the pack, of the bottom pack, and Eric Jones was able to knock you out. Silver Cup driver Martin Truex Jr. knocked out of the middle group by Eric Jones. What a good maneuver. And because I placed my cards face down, they're all set to go again, and I can just flick it over and see Brad Vickers is still bringing up the back of the pack. Now, I have noticed when you have something involving the bottom group, it does seem to take longer, and that's just to be expected because you got 20-some drivers here in this bottom group, so it's going to take a little while to get through all those drivers. The top group tends to be a little bit quicker because you only got a handful of drivers you got to worry about. Next up is going to be a 1, so it's going to be our top group. We're looking at a 9. We're looking for the smart skill. Who is smart? Who is smart? No smart. No smart. Did we have any smart? Oh, here we go. Got 1. Jeff Gordon, Rainbow Warrior, challenging for the lead against Clint Boyer. Clint Boyer does have smart. He's got the 2 bonus stars, 1 bonus star. So 4 under for Clint Boyer and a 5 or under for Jeff Gordon. Gordon passes. Clint Boyer fails. Look at that. White die is not needed. Jeff Gordon is now taking the race lead in the 4th lap. Good job, Mr. Gordon. Rainbow Warrior bringing it up. I don't need to mark down how many laps because he did not lead enough for it to count. And just so you can keep track of it, something I thought about doing is putting the number of the car there under the lap, or under the turn rather, where they took over. That way you can help kind of keep it in your mind of when they started leading the race. Jeff Gordon just now took the lead. Next small is going to be Carl Edwards. He might be able to take it back. So Jeff Gordon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh God, only a 6 will fail it for him. Only a 6. Oh, he passed. So he was able to hold them off with his dice result, his break check. So holds off Carl Edwards. Kyle Larson does not. Kurt Busch does. Can Kurt Busch take the lead? He succeeds, but so does Jeff Gordon. So Jeff Gordon holds him off. Jeff Gordon is going to be a harder car to knock out of this lead position if it is something that he has the key word for. All right, I'm going to pause here for a quick moment. We might do some more laps, or this might be the end of the video. It will be determined right now. All right, so either welcome back to another video or a continuation on from where I left off previously. Let's go ahead and roll our dice and see what's going to happen in some red, white, and blue racing. All right, what are we getting? Top group. Top group is doing 7. They're checking their control. So who is in control? Leave a little dash right there. Let's see, who's got control? Greg Biffle does not. No, Ryan Newman, Clint Boyer. Nope, Carl Edwards does. Carl Edwards has some good stats. He's going against Gordon. His gas pedal rating is 5, one of the highest you can have. And Jeff Gordon does have control. Yeah. Gordon's going to have a real good chance of holding on to his position. Can he do it? Yep. Carl Edwards fails. He is not going to be taking the pole position. Kyle Larson is going to take his chance. Ooh, he succeeds, but he is held off by Mr. Gordon. And Kurt Busch is the last one. Kurt Busch is all right. He's better than his shit-ass brother. All right. And we got a fail and a succeed. Kurt Busch takes the lead from the Rainbow Warrior. Not bad, Mr. Busch. Good job. All right, so we'll mark him down. 41 now in the lead. We have had 4 leader position changes since there are 3 leader position changes, rather. Since the start of the race, we're only into the 5th lap. Wow, they are just rubbing and racing up here at the front of our track. So let's go ahead and roll and see what we got coming next. We finally had our first duel. Duel is something we have not seen yet, and I'm kind of new to it, so I'm going to walk this one through to make sure I get it right. Okay, so I had to read this to kind of figure it out, what was going on. We got a duel result, but we also got something extra on top of it. We got a 7 on our metallic dice, which means we get the feud result. Now, if we had drivers who were fuming and feuding, so like 2 drivers who were really pissed off at each other, we would focus on them. We do not have any yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the metallic dice twice and consult here for the duel. And that will give me 2 drivers, as long as I don't get a 7. If I get a 7, I'm going to re-roll it to figure out 2 drivers. And those drivers are going to be fuming and feuding. Then I will roll the metallic dice one more time to determine what happens. This will give us a result for one of the drivers, either the rabbit or the turtle. Rabbit just means the driver who is farther ahead in the pack. All right, so let's see who our fuming and feuding guys are. And like I said, there are spots here where we can mark this down. So we will mark down these drivers as feuding and fuming. So our first driver is going to be a lead position driver, number 6. Place number 6 car in top group. Nope. Right here, we are going to have this one. So Greg Biffle is our first. Hopefully we'll get a high roll and we'll get someone in the middle group for our second car. Nope, got same result. Let's roll that one more time. I think we did get a high result. What do we get? 9. 9 is going to be number 5 card middle group. That's going to be here. And I believe it says always go with the odd one. So it's going to be Casey Kane. Casey Kane is the turtle. Greg Biffle is the rabbit. Now they are fuming and feuding. So what we will do is we roll our metallic die one more time, and this will give us a result. Something like turtle out, rabbit out, someone moved to the back of the pack, some type of result, but it is listed down right here. Same with our duel results. Now, if we had just had a regular duel instead of the feud thing, the two drivers would have just competed and done the gas pedal type thing that we've been doing previously. We're not going to have that here, though. So let's roll it. We got an 11. And 11 is going to be turtle and rabbit out plus a yellow. That means both Greg Biffle and Casey Kane were bumping into each other so much that they had caused a wreck, and they are now out of the race completely, and we have a yellow lap. Yellow lap means we lose a lap, and now we have open positions. These open positions are going to be filled. We're going to fill our gap up, which means we will bump our 8th place up, and we'll start sliding everyone over to fill these positions here on the track. We're going to end up with 2. And just like a regular race, you will have instances where drivers don't finish the race. So we will pull from our bottom pack. Now Martin Truex Jr. and Juan Pablo Montoya have now joined the middle group because of the 2 gaps that we just opened up. Everyone else moved up. And now we have to mark off. Not only are we getting a lap down, but we're also getting the yellow, but the yellow is coming on a pit. So everyone's getting to pit now that we're in the 7th lap, the 7th turn. But the thing of it is like there's a special procedure if you hit the pit while under caution, which is what we have had happen. Okay, so we're not really having an early pit. We are having a pit under caution, but it's on the actual correct lap that it was supposed to be on. That's what this triangle is. That's why I marked it with a Y right above it, because we actually did it on lap number 7. So we don't have to have anything special. Nothing really is going to change as far as that's concerned. Now, here's the thing. Some people get a chance to pit and do a fast pit. That is a stat that is on all of our drivers. For example, Mr. Kurt Busch rather. You see his fast pit rating is a 7. That's a 2d6 roll. If you were equal to or under, just like everything else, that means you succeed. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to roll our 3 dice. The 2 gray ones, the 2 metallic ones, instead of giving us our results here, that's going to determine which groups switch places. And that's going to happen in both the top and the middle group. The black die will tell us which groups get to attempt to do a fast pit. However, since we are doing it under caution, the leader automatically gets a chance for a fast pit, regardless of what group it is. So that's the only thing that's really going to change for us with this caution. Kurt Busch automatically gets the attempt at the fast pit. Everyone else will potentially change positions in these top 2 groups, and then we'll have some of them be able to attempt a fast pit. A fast pit will never happen for our bottom group, though. I think that's only going to be for the top, the middle, or the TV drivers. A 1 to 2 on the black die is going to be the top. A 3 to 4 is going to be the middle, just like before. Now a 5 is going to be both groups, and a 6 will be our TV drivers. So let's roll and see what our results are going to be. Okay. Of course, we got both groups. Everyone's getting a chance at a fast pit. I was hoping it will be our TV driver so I could show you guys that. Actually, we're gonna fudge one thing just so I can show it, because I haven't had a TV driver yet. I'm gonna flip that to a 6 just so I can do it for our TV drivers, and it'll speed us up a little bit. Now, here's what's going to happen. Drivers in the 1 and 3 position will switch. So these drivers automatically get a better pit. That's just to simplify it, to kind of signify that while they were going through the pit, their team did a better job. So Carl Edwards' team did a better job than the Rainbow Warrior, and those two switch. And we're going to have the same thing over here. 1 and 3 are going to switch. So AJ Allmendinger's falling back. Tony Stewart moving forward. Danica Patrick moving back, always a good thing. And Dale Earnhardt Jr., one of our TV drivers, moving up to 9th place. Good job, Junior. Now, yes, this was a 5. Normally, I would do this for everyone, but we're going to just do it for our TV driver and our leader. So, what does a fast pit mean? Well, pit is one of the only times you can get one of these performance chips during a race. You can get them occasionally before a race, but during the pit is when you really stand a good chance of getting a performance chip. And you guys saw how useful those performance chips can be. All the driver has to do is roll equal to or under his fast pit rating. So we're going to check our race leader and all of our TV drivers to see if any of them are going to get a fast pit. All right, so for our race leader, Kurt Busch, he is going to get a performance chip. Good job, good job, good job. Kurt Busch holding on to it. All right, next one's going to be Ryan Newman. He needs a 7 or under. And does he get it? Yes, he does get it. We're going to have a lot of performance chips hitting our racetrack, I got a feeling. Mark Martin doesn't have as good of a pit rating. He needs a 6 or under. Come on, Mark Martin. Oh, did you get it? Yes, he got it. He got it. I've always liked Mark Martin. I've always thought he was a good driver. He's just solid, always there. Next up, going to be Junior. Junior needs a 7 or under on his fast pit rating. And he got it. Everyone coming out swinging. Will our last TV driver, Alex Bowman, get a fast pit? He needs a 5 or under. Oh, tell me they all got it. Nope, he lost it by 1. He lost it by 1. Alex Bowman did not pull it out. Sorry, Alex, you did not get it. But interesting pit. All of our TV drivers but 1 getting some performance chips, doing some real good pit action. Kurt Busch holding on to that lead. Few other drivers switching places. FYI, if you are doing TV drivers like I just did here, you'll do all of them in the top and middle group. You will not check the bottom group. Even though we have TV drivers in this group, they cannot get performance chips because you obviously can't have those guys stacked up that way. Excellent pit, excellent pit. Now we are ready to kick off into lap 8. So let's roll and see what we're going to have happen. All right, we are having a 2, so it's going to be our top group, and they're comparing number 8. That's going to be their star rating. We're looking for the star rating. Mark Martin does have it, so he's going to be challenging the race leader, Kurt Busch. But with so many of our drivers having performance chips, this is going to throw things off a little bit. Let's just check to see if he is going to succeed. His gas pedal rating is a 4. Kurt Busch doesn't have it, so he needs a 3 or under. And he fails, but Mark Martin passes, so he does succeed. Now, here's what I have decided to do in situations like this where both drivers have a performance chip. I will roll a die to determine whether or not that they succeed on using their chip. So we'll just do it 4, 5, 6 on either of the die, right? So if it's 4, 5, or 6 on the blue die, that's going to be for our race leader. Red die is going to be for Mark Martin to see if they're going to use their chips. Neither driver decides to use their chips, so that means they are going to switch places, but they are going to retain their performance chips. Good job, Mark Martin. You're taking the lead. I am surprised he is able to do it because he does not have the best stats, but solid driver, always liked him. Good job. If anything, I'm just tickled to be able to mark him down. Mark Martin as leading the race at least once. And what were you doing? We're doing star rating, right? Yep, star rating. Next one's going to be Ryan Newman. He does have the star rating, so he will be able to challenge. Gas pedal rating of 4, so he gets a 1 and a 3. So 4 are under on red die, 3 are under on the blue die for him to hold it off. And wow, they both succeed. They both succeed. Almost trouble, though. If it had been a 2 instead, that would have been a trouble roll. We'll do it again to see if they are using their chips. Same thing, red die and blue die. And neither driver is using their chips. So Mark Martin retains the lead. He was able to fend off Ryan Newman. Ryan Newman has just been cruising this whole time in 6th place, just hanging. He lost his chip earlier, but he got it back. Star rating, let's see, we got it here, and that's it. Mark Martin, you only got to hold it off one more time, but it's Clint Boyer. He's an excellent driver. This is going to be hard for you, buddy, but you got your chip. Can you hold him off without burning your chip? Yes, he can hold him off. I'll be damned. Mark Martin holds it out. Not bad, Mark Martin. Yes, Clint Boyer did succeed, but as long as the blue die succeeds, the driver still keeps his position. To change position, remember, both the red die has to succeed and the blue die has to fail. Otherwise, it will not change position. Both of those conditions have to be true. All right, rolling on to our next lap. What are we going to have happen? We are, almost trips. It's going to be our top group. Again, good grief, we are doing a lot of top group. We're doing our skill rating this time. I've been getting a lot of 6s. And you're going to have this happen. Most of your roles here, reflex, skill, control, star, smart, and heat, all of those are keywords on the drivers. So you're going to be rolling to check those things a lot. That's just to be expected in this game. Going to be our top guys. Like I said, this is the skill. Kurt Busch doesn't have it. Ryan Newman does. He does. So 4 times Mark Martin's got to hold it off. Can he do it? If he can survive this one with Ryan Newman challenging for the lead and not lose his chip, he could potentially hold off the others as long as he doesn't lose this one. Ryan Newman, can you do it? Well, we got a success on both. So I accidentally flipped that one, but it's fine. So we will do it one more time to see if either driver is using their chips this time. And neither driver, each time they have not used their chips. So Mark Martin retains the lead. Moving down to Clint Boyer. Clint Boyer, can you take the position? Ooh, that is a fail, and that is a succeed. So yes, he would take the position, which means Mark Martin has to burn his chip to hold his leader position. Now he's got to hold it off 2 more times, and he's doing it against Jeff Gordon and Kyle Larson, both excellent drivers, both with 5 gas pedal ratings. It is going to be hard for him to do it because he only has a stat of 3 for his brake pedal. Can he do it twice more? That's a success, and yes, he did succeed. He's held off the Rainbow Warrior. You stick there in 4th place. Kyle Larson, can you take the race lead? And that is going to be a success, but that is also a success. He held him off with the bare minimum. He needed a 3 or under, and he got a 2 or under and then a 3 under. Mark Martin, good job. I'm proud of you, buddy. You are sticking it. Coming into the 10th lap of our race here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, we have Mark Martin leading the race. Carl Edwards, Kyle Larson, Jeff Gordon, Clint Boyer bring it up into 5th place. Ryan Newman holding on to 6th place, where he's been since the race started, and Kurt Busch in 7th place. Tony Stewart's kind of hanging back here at 8th place, starting to threaten the pack, but our TV drivers have been holding on pretty well throughout the race as well. Let's roll it to see what we got coming next. And this one's going to be interesting. That is 11 for the middle group. 11 is a problem. Ooh, problem. Now we're going to have some potential wrecks and some potential yellow flags. Let's see who's getting involved in this one. Okay, since this is a problem, this one's handled a little bit different. Trouble results handled it a little different way. Problem results, we're going to go to our chart here. So we've got to find the driver who is going to be the one that is referenced, and our red and white die are going to tell us which driver it is. Driver 1 odd, driver 2 even, blah, 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 just depending on what is rolled. Remember, when we're looking at the red and white die, red die is going to be 10s, and the white die is going to be 1. So we just need to roll these two. Middle group, we'll find out who is who. For our problem, it is going to be 63. 63 is going to be driver 6 odd. Driver 6 odd. Wow, last place. Juan Pablo Montoya having a problem. What kind of problem is he going to have? Well, in this case, we are again going to roll one more time, red die, white die, and we are going to find out what our problem is here. Oh, and I was just wondering, I'm like, why would we roll down here? There are a few results here that are called odd problem. So there's your main problems, and then there's even rarer problems that can happen. And then, like I said, on the back of this, we have like the super rare results, the stuff that you're not going to see too often in a race. And again, driver finder tables down here. You can even have the black flag pop up. So what is going to happen to Juan Pablo? Ooh, 56, 56, 56. Lost engine, out of race, yellow flag, Juan Pablo Montoya. No, we're losing some damn good drivers. So far, we're down. Casey Kane, Greg Biffle, and Juan Pablo Montoya have been taken out of the race through one problem or another. Let's see who we've got coming up from our 20th place. It's going to be Brad Keselowski, good driver, Gold Cup driver listed down there. He should do pretty well. Let's mark off a couple because we are going to lose lap 10 and we're also going to lose lap 11 for a yellow. We get a caution for Juan Pablo on his way out as part of that problem that he had. Oh, so sad. I think I got a little bit more time before bed. We'll do one or two more laps real quick. And you guys are starting to see this. I'm still new to this game. I've played some off camera, but you can see that I'm just burning through these turns. It doesn't take too long to do it. You can easily do a race in an evening. And remember, I've got like the longest race here. If this were a 20-lap race, we'd be more than halfway through the race already. And plenty of them are shorter turns. You see 40 turns, 22 turns, 28 turns, 40 turns, 50 turns, 40 turns, 40, 50, 50. And there's plenty more in there that I didn't even look at. 28 turns, 30 turns. So just depending on you. And like I said, that's just the ones that come with the game. There's plenty more that you can print off that have different turns, different results. So it's really up to you. You could sit down and play this game through a race in about an hour if you were doing one of the shorter tracks. All right, what are we having happening now? Ooh, we're back to the top group. We're getting a 5 result. 5 results going to be a reflex challenge. Challenging the reflex. Who's got it? Mark Martin, I think you're going to get busted here, buddy, because Kurt Busch has the reflex and he's got a skill chip, performance chip, which means he's almost guaranteed to take your position. Actually, he is guaranteed to take your position. Kurt Busch is going to be retaking the lead, but we'll roll for it. Yeah, he got it without having to use his performance chip, and that was almost a problem result. I still haven't got triples here yet. But if I do get triples on one of these rolls, that's a problem. And I'd go back to that chart you guys just saw me using. But he did succeed on his roll, whereas Mark Martin failed his. So Kurt Busch gets to take it back without losing his chip. Sorry, Mark Martin, you were back down to 7th place. But you led the race, and I'm proud of you, buddy. All right, so that's our first challenge. How many reflexes do we have? He's got it, he's got it, he's got it, he's got it, and he's got it. Yeah, Kurt Busch is probably not going to keep that one. All right, Ryan Newman, can you get out of that position? And no, he can't. He failed his gas pedal rating. Don't even have to check it. So we will move on. And you know what? Since he failed it, I'm just going to not worry about his performance chip. We'll just move on to our next check. Clint Boyer Can you succeed? He's got a 5 gas pedal rating. Actually, all of these are top drivers. They all have 5 gas pedal ratings. And that's something I kind of noticed is these ones with the 5 gas pedal ratings slowly start creeping their way to the front of the track, just like you would expect for better drivers to, make their way to the front. Clint Boyer, what do you got, buddy? He failed his roll. No need to even check any further. He failed the red die. Jeff Gordon, Rainbow Warrior, what you got, buddy? Can you succeed? He does succeed, and I believe that is going to be a potential change. Reflex, no, he would need a 4 under. He fails his die roll, so he will spend his performance chip to maintain his position, but he's still got 2 checks left. Kyle Larson and Carl Edwards still jockeying for position on Kurt Busch. Kyle Larson, can you take it from? And that's a success. That's a failure. And that doesn't matter except for triple results. So Kurt Busch will be knocked out of the lead. Kyle Larson will take first position in the poll. And we'll mark it down. The 51 car. A lot of race lead changes. Last one, Carl Edwards wanting to take the lead back. He needs a 5 or under. And let's see, he's got the 1, and Kyle Larson's going to need a 3 or under to maintain this. Can he do it? Oh, he got the 3. He's able to do it. Kyle Larson retains the pole position. He's in the lead. Good job. Carl Edwards almost retaking the lead, but he's still in second place, so he's still jockeying. All right, we're going to go ahead and definitely pause this here. I'm pretty sure this is all going to be the conclusion of a single video. Play it all together, but I put this in my review, and I don't know how to describe it other than the fact that this isn't as much game as other games that I've played, but it's just letting things play out and kind of seeing how it does. And there's just something fun about sitting here, writing it down, figuring out who's what, and I'm seeing the race in my mind as I'm playing this out of the Charlotte 600, as the race lead keeps changing, as 2 drivers start jockeying with each other. Now they're fuming and feuding for the next race. So definitely 5 and 16, Casey Kane and Greg Biffle are going to be 2 of my TV drivers. Whoever wins this race would be one of my TV drivers, and then you can roll to add a few more into it if you want to as well. But I'm looking forward to seeing, what this finish is going to look like. Do the race leaders, the ones who started, kind of make their way back up? Does being a TV driver help keep them up in the upper positions? And there's rules and everything. You can do your, race for the chase, the points, the whole 9. You can do the whole thing. It's kind of like fantasy football, except NASCAR. And you're just kind of playing it out in front of you. And I'll tell you what, after playing this, I really want to try their Destruction Derby game. I'm much more into cars than I am something like football or baseball. That's going to be for others. But if you're a big sports fan and you're like me, you like these solitaire roll and write games, try one of these out. I'm telling you, they don't cost a lot. And there's just something fun about sitting here and letting it play out in front of you, because now you really have no association to the dice. You have no love for it. You're not really rooting for anything. Now, yes, you might root for a driver, like I'm rooting for Mark Martin, but you don't care. You never really want to fudge the die like you would if you're playing solitaire. And sometimes you're playing the game like, I really needed that 6. Yeah, I'll just flip that one around because I don't feel like restarting my game. You don't have that here. Here, you really just play it out and just let it happen and see how the race turns out. It's such a fun little experience. And I'm just sitting here in the evenings, right, at my little table, chucking some red, white, and blue dice and just seeing where these little cars move around. And I'm just having a freaking blast with it. I'll tell you what, I am just tickled pink that you guys suggested to try this out. And I can't thank them enough for sending me a copy of it. And especially just for the sheer amount of content that's out there. I know I already reviewed this game, but it really is just so much fun. It is. and I am so surprised about that, how fun this game is with the way it plays. If you had described it to me first without me actually playing it, I would have been like, I don't know. Where's my track? I want a round track board that I'm gonna move pieces around, and I'm perfectly fine without it. But all right, I'll stop rambling here. You guys stay tuned. I'll try to put up some more red, white, and blue racing, but definitely go check them out. Play games. The Just type it in PLAAY, and you'll pop into where their games are. And I'm telling you, they got the buttload of just different stuff, fishing, all different types of sports, even trucking, racing, destruction derby, so many different styles of games that I have not considered previously, that I'm now like, okay, yeah, I need to open my eyes a little bit. Check this stuff out, because there's some good stuff going on here. All right, that's going to be it for me. You guys take care. I'll catch you in the next one.